The Alpha Sessions with Emma Joyce.
And I'm here with Alice Mee-Bishop.
Hello.
How are you?
Great, thank you.
Good. It's been ages. I was digging around a couple of days ago, and I think it was 2018 when we last saw you. So pretty much 2 years, which is mad because on one hand it feels like it's been ages, but on the other hand it feels like you were in the studio with us yesterday.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's kind of weird. But cool. You've had a pretty busy couple of years.
Yes, yeah.
Not necessarily musically.
No.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I lived up in London. After I finished Brit, I came and lived in London for a year. Yeah. I went to ICMP.
What's ICMP?
Oh, it's a uni in Kilburn. Right. So I went there. Basically, so I could still be up in London type of thing. I went to that. It wasn't really for me, to be honest. It was a songwriting course, and it wasn't my cup of tea. But I went there, and I was trying a bunch of different things whilst I was up here, trying to get gigs, trying to kind of build a bit of a name for myself. And it was very, very, very difficult. And, you know, it was such a stress of having to pay rent, pay for everything whilst I was up here, that it kind of made me a bit ill. So I decided, I had a bit of an upset, so I decided to go home, be with my mum and dad, and my dog had only recently died, so I was in a bit of a state. No. Yeah, he was my baby, so I was in a bit of a state over that. So I came home, and everything was going all right. I was on my way up to London to come to one of my singing lessons, but I wasn't feeling too well in the morning. I had a bit of a bad throat, and then I couldn't really move. And I came home, and I was like freezing cold, but my body was boiling. So my mum rang the ambulance, because she'd rang like a helpline, and they'd said they think it could be sepsis, because there was quite a bit of like cases being reported of it at the time, especially in younger girls. So they sent an ambulance crew out. They took my temperature, it was 42 degrees. Oof. No, I mean, I didn't know whether that was good or bad, to be honest. If I was out in 42 degrees in like Australia, I'd love it, you know. But I
don't think it's the same.
No, I know. So I got rushed into hospital. They did a few tests, blood tests, passing out, not because of the needles or anything. I just I couldn't keep myself together type of thing. And they let me go. They said that it wasn't sepsis, I just had a strep throat infection. So they sent me away with antibiotics, which really I don't think I should have gone. But I came home, and I was in bed, couldn't really move. I'm on these antibiotics trying to get a bit better. Well, 2 days after then, I woke up at about 4 o'clock in the morning on a Friday. And my arm was just completely stiff. My chest felt like it was on fire. I tell you what, in that moment I kind of thought I was dying, you know. But I got rushed into hospital. They did tests again, and my heart had let out this enzyme called troponin, which gets let off when there's a heart attack. So they didn't really know what had happened with me. So I then they were doing a bunch of different tests, and I kind of thought, because every time I'd gone to hospital when I was younger, I mean, it's very rare I've gone into hospital, but the process seems to be go in, get checked, stay a few hours, go home. Yeah. Well, I went in, got put into a ward type of thing, was kept in like a medical unit, and then nobody could see me because it was Easter, so there was no doctor, no specialist in to do the scan. So I was in for quite a while, and I was in agony because the sac around my heart was inflamed, and it was something called pericarditis, which is quite rare to get, but it was it was my body kind of telling me I needed a bit of time off, but I'm obviously not glad it happened, but you know, it's kind of made me realise to have other options rather than just rely solely on doing singing. So I started doing a bit of chemistry, a bit of biology on the side.
Wow.
I've always had a passion for it.
Hang on, you get this because you're doing too much, so then you take on a new challenge.
I mean, it kind of takes my focus off being like a singer. Okay. It kind of allows me then to be like, say I get to 30 and I'm like, oh, that's not for me. I got the biology and chemistry to fall back on then. And I mean, I was always quite academic in school, and I kind of missed having type of thing as well. I mean, I barely go to college, so I mean, I don't know why I'm on about this, but I'm still getting my distinctions, which is all right. But yeah.
So what, are you studying chemistry and biology now?
Yeah, well, I still do my singing. I mean, I'm very really there. I'm always doing writing sessions and like coming up to London for different things. So I'm very really in college, but somehow I'm still managing to keep up with the work and do the grades. So it's like
that's pretty impressive.
But yeah, it's been good. I enjoy it. I do enjoy it a lot. But yeah.
And you've also been busy launching a school.
Yes, I am.
Which is so exciting.
I know, I can't wait. It's brilliant.
How did you get into the whole teaching thing anyway?
Well, after the thing with the bit of a heart problem, I decided that I really enjoyed like teaching. I really do enjoy teaching, and I felt like I'd done all these years of training, and like I'm using it on myself, but I thought, I'd love to like help others, because I can hear quite a lot of things that people are doing wrong. So like a lot of the time people will sing from their larynx, which I mean, I'm still learning how to avoid singing from my larynx, because being a classical singer, we're taught how to sing from our larynx. Now, to be a pop singer and to be able to hit quite high notes without straining, you go into a place called your pharynx, which is at the back. I'm getting a bit technical now, but it goes to a place called your pharynx.
Yeah,
so when the baby's crying, for example, and they can cry all day and it doesn't bother them at all, and they don't go like, ow, bad throat, it's because they're crying from their pharynx. So what I wanted to try and teach then, from what my teacher's been teaching me, is for singers to get into their pharynx easier. So there's a bunch of different techniques that I've learned, and I'm teaching these, and I don't know, just get a kick out of it. I love it. I love seeing the progression as well. So I've had people come to me who at the beginning they weren't able to stay in tune, so the song will be playing and it's very difficult for them to actually follow the melodic line. So there's been a bunch of different techniques we've gone over, and showing them certain ways to listen and kind of tune their brain to fit into the notes.
Wow.
So it's fun. Is really
it all
fun.
ages or just young people?
Yeah, well, my private lessons I teach from 4 onwards. So the 4 to 9 normally have about half an hour sessions, because it's more about building their confidence at that age.
And attention span, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time their parents will stay in the room with them, which makes it easier for them to concentrate then. Sometimes not. Sometimes they sit in, I got a little tiny, like, I got a conservatory, but I call it my waiting room, so they can stay in there. But my older ones, so 10 onwards, and I have some students that are 60, so I teach them about 45 minutes. Some people have hour and a half. So it's great. It's like you can kind of have as much as you feel suits you. But I go over exercise and technique to start off, and then go if we have time. So try and do as much technique as possible, and then apply that technique we've learned into the song. So they get like a full lesson plan at the end of everything we've done. So I just love it. I really enjoy it.
Do you have people come to you and go, I want to sound like this?
Yes.
And like, do you find that really hard to kind of say, like, not everyone can sound like Alicia Keys or whatever?
I think
only you.
I don't know whether I find it difficult, because I know how they've got to do it. From because I go to my singing teacher's called Dr. Voices, Anthony Wade, in 3 Mills Studio in London, in Stratford. I come up every week for that. Wow. He is incredible. He's absolutely phenomenal. And basically, to sound like these singers, there's something called the 4 columns, which and the sound beam that you have to go into. So I don't really find it difficult saying to them, you can't sound like that. It's more about if they want to put the work in, and if they want to put in all the hours of doing these techniques over and over, it's quite difficult for them not to develop a sound that will be similar. Obviously, it's not going to be the same, but that's like the beauty of finding like your artistry then, because you don't want to sound the same as someone, otherwise that's like a tribute, you know? So I try and teach them a bunch of different techniques. Obviously, I had a 10-year-old come in the other day, wanted to sing Rise Up by Andrea Day. I was like, we'll work towards it. That's not going to come just yet. And then I explained to him all the, like, you know, how obviously the singer is a lot older than them, so they've had the time to grow and develop. So a lot of that comes into it as well. But my older ones, as long as they do the technique, it's quite easy for them to kind of find their own avenue that sounds not similar, but achieving the same notes in their own way. So enjoy it.
What happens if you get someone like me who, you know how you said you start singing in tune and then you go off?
Yeah.
I go off rail before like you start. Do you ever get anyone that comes in that kind of, you like, they've got a lot of work to do, if you know what I mean?
I think I don't know whether I call it work. It's more about the development of it.
Okay.
So I feel like have been people that have come and they've needed quite a bit of development. But I look at my students now and I feel like they're all quite equal with how they've come on, especially the ones that have been with me now for about 8 months. Yep. You can really see a difference, which, you know, I love it. I love seeing the difference. I watched a video of one of my girls the other day, and when she first started singing this song called Colours of the Wind, because I like to take them back to ones that we can actually use quite a bit of technique on. She's singing Colours of the Wind from Pocahontas, and she's
amazing song.
She was 9 when I started teaching her, but now she's 10, and she's just done another recording of it now, and she's sounding so much better. Wow. You know, like she's really clear with her diction. Her technique is sounding really good, so it's great to hear that development, and she's only going to get better if she carries on practicing. She's only going to just keep progressing, like, wow. So great.
The Alpha Sessions with Emma Joyce.
So you kind of have already, and obviously, like, you do lessons, so yes. I'm not going to ask you too many questions on it.
All right, that's fine.
But any kind of, if you've got an up-and-coming vocalist listening, have you got any, like, tips for keeping your voice?
Oh, it is vital, absolutely vital that you do warm-ups and exercises, because especially a great one to do is one called the bubble. Now, I'll show you it actually, because I can talk about it, but you don't get the same thing as if you
show us.
So basically, you put 2 fingers like this, you go... Now what that does is that puts your voice into a bit of a rehab.
Oh,
So
cool.
your vocal folds and your vocal cords are completely relaxed. They're not being used in like an aggressive way at all. So it's really relaxing your throat. So that's technical side. That's how I'd say for singers to go forward, keeping their voice in good condition. Don't strain. If ever there's any notes at all you strain on, you're doing it wrong. Try it different ways. Try watching singers, see how they put their mouth shape, because it comes down a lot to the shape of their mouth and how their tongue is positioned.
Yeah.
It gets very technical, but
It's kind of like throat exercises.
Yes.
That's the way I see it.
yes. So it's all about getting inside. You've got to really understand them exercises as well and really get inside them. It's when you get them, you know you've got them.
Okay.
But the minute that it's the practice of it takes a while to kind of, I remember when I first started doing them, I can't do it. So it takes quite a while to really understand it.
I think you also have to not be embarrassed.
Yes,
to do
don't
it
be
as well.
embarrassed. I mean, I spent years and years being embarrassed that my mother would listen and be like, "Ooh, that don't sound too good." But now it's all about, like, they're not meant to sound good.
Yeah.
They're really building blocks, so that you just gotta keep on ploughing through them, as long as they don't hurt. If they hurt at all, you're doing it wrong. That's literally what I've learned over the years. If you hurt, you're doing it wrong.
I'm going to try that when we get home.
Yeah, try it. You'll be singing like Whitney tomorrow.
Yeah, right. So what about when you go on stage? Is there anything else that you have to do before you play live? live?
Not at all anymore, because it was like before I used to get really nervous.
Yeah.
Going on probably until around about summer of 2018, and I had quite a bit coming up. I was singing in Carfest. Have you heard of Carfest?
Yeah.
I was singing at Carfest. I was supporting Lloyd Macy, who was on X Factor in his
ace.
coming home show, and I
He's
did
cool.
Pride Cymru main stage back home. So I
Amazing.
had 3 of my biggest things in one weekend, and I didn't have time to get nervous. And I'd been busking all summer,
Yeah.
and I just found from busking it was such a massive weight off my shoulder, because it was, you're making money, and
Singing.
you don't have to worry about, like, people might not like you, but whereas in a gig situation, if someone don't like you, you've got like an hour and a half of someone not liking you. If someone doesn't like
good
you
way to
on
look at
this,
it.
if someone doesn't like you on busking on the street,
Yeah.
you can just move on.
Yeah.
You
true.
haven't got to stay there. So it's like, for me, after doing busking, I could not do gigs, because I'm literally like, God, this is so much better. I could do it in the day. I got the night to myself, It's brilliant. It's just a brilliant way. So from doing busking, it really, like, my nerves, I just didn't get them. Now, only thing is, and I'm a bit nervous about listening back to my performances, is that...
I wouldn't be. They sounded amazing.
Oh, because I have to listen to Lovely Day by Bill Withers before I perform.
Oh, did you do that today?
No, I didn't do it.
Oh.
So I was a bit like, oh, God.
I thought maybe you did because I came a bit late. I thought maybe I missed
Oh,
that
no,
bit.
I forgot. I'm in here. And I was like, oh, my God, I didn't listen to Bill Withers.
Not even in the car on the way?
Not even in the car. Not even in the car. And I always have it on. Always without fail. I have it all the time.
What if we put it on after? Would it have the same
Oh,
effect?
yeah, go on.
Okay, we'll do it after instead.
Okay, I love it. It's not my favourite song, but it's like one that definitely puts me in the
zone.
in the mood, ready to go on and sing. I have it on
Okay.
my phone and like this, listening
So
to it.
funny.
Love it.
Wow, that's a good one. Very unexpected. So for people that haven't heard your last session and haven't
Yes.
heard your music, how would you sum it up in a couple of words?
Confused.
Confused?
I think over the past few years, I'm really trying to find what type of sound I want to go with.
Okay.
And I've realised all of my favourite singers that I kind of look up to have all started quite similar. They've all started by singing on like a dance track.
Yeah.
So I've been doing quite a bit of house stuff, even though I haven't done it today. I've been doing quite a bit of house stuff recently, and I've really got a love for house music and EDM. I really enjoy listening to that type of stuff. So I feel like the way for me is that I'm going to do quite a bit of dance stuff now.
Cool.
Then I can break into doing my pop and ballads type of things.
Yeah.
But I would say my music at the moment is quite pop,
Okay.
ballads. But yeah, I think at the moment it's more so confused.
And you said that artists you've been listening to, what kind of artists have you been listening to at the moment?
Sam Smith,
Ace.
because I absolutely loved his song
Yeah.
Latch. with Disclosure. It came out years ago, but oh my God, it's amazing.
Came on in the office today, actually.
Oh, I tell you what, it's such a good song. I'm listening to it and I'm listening to how it's being wrote. Oh, it's brilliant.
It's one of those that you forget how much you love it and then you hear it again and you're like, oh yeah, I love this song.
Yeah, I love Sam Smith. I mean, I love... I've got to think about this now, because I normally love songs more than I like certain artists. I love Adele. I've always liked Adele. And I'm... got to think who else. I'm more about producers. Like, I love...
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I love Max Martin.
Yes.
His songs, like, I mean, it's very rare to see him come up with a song that doesn't do well.
Yeah,
I love Pink. I think Pink is great. And yeah, I think that's about it. I can't think of who else I really like. I love Coldplay.
Yeah.
Coldplay.
That's a nice mix there. Max Martin, Coldplay,
I know.
Pink, Sam Smith. It's good.
Yeah, I love him. So yeah, but Sam Smith is kind of the one that I think he's great, because obviously my teacher was Sam Smith's singing teacher growing
up. Oh, really?
So, I mean,
amazing.
It's nice to kind of
have that,
realise and see how Sam did all of the exercises as well with him. So it feels cool doing the same exercise as Sam Smith. So yeah, it's great.
Some people live for the fortune. Some people live just for the fame. Some people live for the power, yeah. Some people live just to play the game. Some people think that the physical things define what's within. And I've been there before, but that life's a bore, so full of the superficial. Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, some just want everything, but everything means nothing if I ain't got you. Some people live for the fountain, promises forever young. Some people need 3 dozen roses, and that's the only way to prove you love it. Hand me the world on a silver platter, and what good would it be? We've no one to share with, no one who truly cares for me. Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, some just want everything, but everything means nothing if I
The Alpha Sessions with Emma Joyce.
You've got a pretty exciting year this year.
Yeah.
Lots of plans.
Yes.
I'm not sure what you're allowed to tell me and what you're not allowed to tell me. So what can we expect from you that you are allowed to tell me?
Okay, you can expect from me finally to do a first single.
Yes.
You can expect that, definitely. I set up my own singing school.
This is amazing. Tell us a bit about this.
It's called Reverb, and it's local, so it's back home with me in Wales.
Can I just say, didn't you get sick because you were doing too much?
Yes.
So how's that going?
I feel like I was doing too much in one area.
Okay.
So I feel like now I've kind of got my energy in different areas,
Yeah.
and it's not all completely reliant upon this needs to work, you know, because now I have a few different things that I can kind
Lots of different pies.
Yeah, so if it's like, oh, that don't work, that's fine. I've got this as well.
Okay, cool. Fair
So
enough.
I think it's kind of taken the stress off me, even though it's more work. But
I'm just going to nod.
Yeah. So it's called Reverb. I came up with the idea with someone called Mark Gifford, who runs the local institute.
And this is it back in Wales?
Back
Okay,
in
cool.
Wales, yeah. So he approached me saying that they were looking for a singing teacher to come up with something that wasn't like anything back home.
Okay.
I said, okay, leave it with me. I then decided rather than letting anyone else kind of build it, I wanted to build it from the ground up. So it's called Reverb. We go over 6 different factors with artists, so up and coming artists, so like quite young people as well, because I always felt like growing up in Wales, especially in the valleys, it's very difficult for me, like for anyone to find like an avenue apart from classical or musical theatre. And I mean, it's great, that's absolutely brilliant if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
But I had no passion for
Yeah, of
classical
course.
music.
Yeah.
I used to walk around classical college and I'd just be like, oh my god, I want to go home, you know. So it's like it wasn't my type of crowd. Whereas then when I went to Brit, the crowd was brilliant, you know. I could relate with people there and really express myself, whereas like I never had that growing up.
Yeah.
And I thought, God, there needs to be something back home that can kind of help these people that feel like they haven't got anywhere to go.
Yeah.
And it's not, I don't feel like it's right to have to force yourself to do like a musical theatre training when there
No,
are
definitely not.
actually other avenues. So
Yeah.
after going to Brit and Dr. Voice, then I realised there is actually training for pop. It's not just that you sing and it's all right, you know.
Yeah.
Like there are actual
There
training.
is this kind of like, I think, image of pop where you don't get any training and you just get
Yeah.
out of bed in the morning and you just start singing and everything's
Yeah.
fine. And I think for people who don't know how much work it takes to
Yeah.
be an amazing singer, that is very much the
Yeah,
image
definitely.
that's portrayed. It's very effortless.
Definitely. And I mean, the thing is as well, pop doesn't just cover the like bubblegum type of pop that's in
Yeah.
the chart. This is popular music, so basically it can cover like indie, alt, you know, because that does like it does fall in the charts of being popular music, you know. So we're not just limiting it to people who just want to sound like Dua Lipa, for example.
Yeah.
Like, that's no disrespect to Dua Lipa, she's a great artist, but it's more about helping them kind of develop and hone their artistry rather than them kind of having to find out little things themselves. So it's kind of putting them in like a bit of a direction so they can be like, right, this image would suit the way that I want to show my vocals, or, you know, this style of writing will really suit the songwriting skills that I want to take up, you know. So it's like a bunch of different things, and I feel like it's so important to teach people about the music industry, because like I always thought growing up that a man would come knock on my door and be like, "You signed," you know. But that didn't happen, you know. And there's been a bunch of opportunities I've had that, I mean, I'm very no every time anything comes, because I'm always like, oh my god, I don't want to sign anything. So I've had these things come up and I've literally gone, I don't want that, because I haven't known what's right and what's wrong. So it's mean, if somebody had kind of taught me, you know, when I was younger, this is like the type of things you should maybe avoid, these things you should go with, because, you know, anytime someone's like, oh yeah, I'm going to make you a big star, as long as you pay me 7,000 to produce an album for you, some people will jump at that because they're like, oh my god, he's worked with so and so, when really, if they, you know, it's not legit, is it? So it's like, I want to teach people things about that. And I mean, we have some excellent teachers on board. I have someone called Calais Thomas, who's basically she'd had 20 years in the music industry. Wow. She's sung with the Eagles.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, she's been the backing singer for a lot of very famous bands and singers. So she has great knowledge, especially with music publishing in the music industry, because she was actually employed in a record label up in London. So
cool.
She's got great knowledge with that, you know, more than I would, because I haven't been in like a record company. I wouldn't know how that works.
Yeah.
I have a rough idea, but not a great idea. Then we have Jacob Mosley. I mentioned him last time I was on here. He's a drummer from back home.
He's amazing.
Yes, yeah. So he's going to be helping to do with production.
Cool.
We have someone called Owen Felstead, who is he's just had 2 million views on Spotify streams. Sorry, I'm not done with the kids. I don't use all these terms, but he's had 2 million streams on Spotify, and he's doing really well. And we also have Yasmin Davis. She's on something called the Forte Project back home. So she's going to be helping out with like image, songwriting.
Nice.
And so it's a great team. You know, it is a good team, and I'm the founder. I love it. But you know, it's a great team to have behind it all, and it's just, I'm so excited for it to start. I mean, it's starting next week. It's starting next week. We had our open evening the other night.
So cool.
Went really well. So I'm excited for it. Yeah. I'm really excited.
Good.
Thank you.
No, thank you. So first single, Anna's School. No pressure then?
No pressure, no. No, I know. I'm trying to do it a bit more like a business now, rather than me just being like, yeah, I'll do this at some point. Yeah. No, there needs to be times now. I'm trying to get everything.
Deadlines and everything.
Oh, but I'm going to be recording quite a few tracks. Whether I release them is another story. But it's more about me, trying to get a bit of a manager, to be honest. I'm not going to brush over the subject. I really want a manager. I've turned down things, but yeah.
If anyone's interested in managing Alice,
please. Oh, please.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. If people want to find out
much
more about you and they like what they've heard, which obviously they will, where can they go? What can they do?
They can go to Instagram, which is at Alice Mee-Bishop, which is AliceMeebishop, and then Facebook, Alice Mee-Bishop. There's another one in there, Twitter, at Alice Mee-Bishop. You can go on YouTube. I mean, there's not much on there at the moment. It's quite dead at the moment, but I'm gonna put on some content now soon. So that's Alice Mee-Bishop as well. Anything you want to find me, Alice Mee-Bishop.
If people want to sign up for the school, I think I'm a bit beyond help. But if anyone else does, where can they go? What can they do for that?
Again, I have all of the socials for it, apart from Twitter. Twitter needs to be set up this evening. But they can find it on Reverb Vocal Music School, which is REV. I'm gonna have to think of to say it. REVERB, and then Vocal Music School, all in one, and then the same on Facebook.
Okay.
But yeah, it's gonna be such a fun and great experience. I mean, if I could do it, I'd do it. So I have the pleasure of teaching it though. So I'm excited. So yeah.
Thanks so much for coming down.
Thank you so
all the
much.
way from Wales.
Thank you. No problem.
Describe the love I feel. in your arms. I'll know that I don't know why we don't see eye to eye. When I say I love you, you won't deny. No, you won't. The love you had has died with the men that used to be mine. You're just like a cannonball. I don't know why we don't see eye to eye. When I say I love you, oh, that I don't know why we don't see eye to eye. When I say I love you, you won't deny. No, you won't. The love you had has died with the man that used to be mine. You're just like a cannonball, waiting for fire.